Okay, folks, I want to discuss very violently what the Fed just did, what they said, and why it sparked a rally McRally today. What you need to know about this new policy trajectory that they are painting. So as you know, the Fed went through with their 75 basis point hike, but more importantly, they went and reaffirmed this new picture, this new trajectory that they have been guiding the markets on for the last several weeks now. Recently, you and I spoke about the massive flip coming from the holy central bankers, and we presented on how essentially markets were already expecting a big change from heightening hawkishness in reaction to heightening inflation like we saw at the prior last couple of FOMC meetings, to now actually flipping and expecting not a increase in aggression, but a dramatic slowdown at the pace of rate hikes, and then literally cutting rates into Q1, or at least starting in Q1 of 2023. And the Fed took a dramatic step today at affirming certainly the first part of that trajectory, that rate hikes are going to start slowing down dramatically and consistently. And this is a big stinking deal from the market because we just went from an environment where meeting after meeting, you would get a huge hot inflationary read, and then the Fed would respond to that by being more aggressive to that inflationary data. But now, even though we just got an even hotter inflationary read, the Fed is basically saying, no, we're going to start cutting back on our defense against inflation. We're going to start being less and less aggressive in the coming meetings. And as of right now, the Fed futures are suggesting that the next meeting in late September is going to give us a 50 basis point hike. And then November, a 25 basis point hike, and then December and the February meeting, those probabilities are starting to get flattened out at around 300 to 350 basis points, which means rate hikes are expected to stop by the end of the year. And into that February meeting, and certainly beyond that, you're starting to see an expectation that's very, very reaffirmed today that all of a sudden you're going to start getting cuts again. But net and in effect, markets looked at this meeting and they heard one thing. We see inflation as behind us. We see inflation as indeed transitory this time around, and we think heading into the fall, it's going to consistently go down, which means that the pace of monetary policy tightening, the pace of heightening of interest rates, that is going to be slowing down dramatically. And they painted a pretty damn clear picture that if the data doesn't force their hands, which it takes a lot for them to be forced to do anything, this Fed, then markets right now can expect rate hikes to be finished by the end of the year, by that December meeting, right? My thoughts, well, pretty much the same as my thoughts when I made that massive flip video a week ago. Obviously, the Fed always leaves the door open to flipping policy again, but I think it's a big gamble to start cutting back on your defenses against inflation before you've even won any sort of battle with it. The Fed is cutting back before you even get 1 month of a downtrend on the CPI. Even if the Fed is right and inflation starts just plummeting the next couple of months, well, what happens if all of a sudden it's October and commodities start going on another rise? It is my view that the Fed needs to take as aggressive action as possible right now when the labor market is as tight as it ever will be, so that later on when the labor market's not as tight, when it's not as healthy, when it doesn't have as much of a springboard, it doesn't have to inflict 10 times the pain. The policy trajectory of cutting back on raising rates is very, very dangerous, and it's a big gamble because if commodities end up for whatever reason going up again and skyrocketing, or even just staying flat, all of a sudden you get into an environment where the consumer is a lot more gutted than they are today, the job market is a lot more cool than it is today, and the Fed is going to have to do a lot more than they would have to do today. The Fed is continuing the policy trajectory that we have seen since this hiking cycle has begun. Basically looking at inflation, assuming that inflation is going to go down in the coming meetings, and thus assuming that they don't have to do as much to fight it. Sometimes I'll read comments and they'll say, hey, you know, Charlie, actually a 75 basis point hike is pretty damn big compared to, say, a 25 basis point hike that we did at the first meeting, right? But remember, if you use the same metrics for calculating the CPI, for example, that they used back in the Volcker era, well, then we are actually in a worse inflationary environment now than we were back then. But Volcker took much more aggressive action at getting this situation solved, and it actually did solve the problem. This time around, the Fed is barely doing anything. It's raising rates at a pace that suggests that maybe we have inflation at 3%, not at 9%, and not at what the 1980 CPI would say at 18%. 2 75 basis point hikes in a row is no joke. But if you show up to a battle with a grenade and the opposing party only has about 5 troops all on foot, well, you're probably going to win. But if you show up to a different battle with the same grenade, but the opposing party has a nuclear submarine, well, you're probably not going to win in that situation. If you didn't catch my drift, the Fed is throwing grenades at a nuclear submarine right now. So really what the Fed is doing is it's following the policy trajectory of getting a little bit of elevation in rates and simply waiting for inflation to be transitory. and go down on its own. Not only that, but they've decided that the grenades that they have been throwing are too aggressive, and they're starting to say, okay, well, let's get the smaller and smaller grenades. And it's all based on, again, this idea that, hey, inflationary pressures, the hottest, are likely behind us. At least that's what they think. But the problem with this analysis, and the Fed admits as much, is that, hey, the inflationary pressures that are the most painful are very, very difficult to predict. When you're talking about a lack of supply caused by a drop in production capacity, a closing down of factories for a year plus, continued rolling shutdowns in major economies like China, which manufacture a lot of our goods, continued shortages of all different materials caused by COVID or caused by sanctions, and of course, the continued overall shortage of a lot of basic commodities and basic energy components and basic oil and gas caused by a combination of Ukraine, a refusal to increase the production of energy, and a refusal in Western countries to support the industries that can produce these things at home. Well, quite frankly, a lot of these things that are actually motivating the pricing pressures today aren't just going away, and they're actually very, very hard to predict. But the Fed today basically painted a very rosy picture of where we are headed. Yes, of course, they acknowledge uncertainty, but they painted a very, very rosy picture. And they also kind of painted the picture that, hey, even if inflation is out of control, well, we're probably not going to hit it with as much aggression as markets would have expected us to. We're pretty much not in the battle to fight inflation. We're just in the battle to let inflation play out on its own. We can accept much, much higher inflation as long as it evens out over the next 3, 4, 5 years. And if you think about why markets rallied on this today, it's because if the Fed ends up following this policy trajectory and just accepts much, much higher than baseline inflation for the next few years while also refusing to raise interest rates and actually going into cutting them, well, all of a sudden it creates this dynamic where the green light is given for fund managers to pour back into equities. Why? Well, because holding cash during heightened inflationary environments where the Fed is no longer trying to return value to the dollar is futile. And markets right now are asking themselves, how much do we trust this new Fed policy trajectory? Is inflation really going to start coming down and stay down? How does an earnings recession play into this? How much are stocks going to be discounted on earnings, and how much can they actually grow if multiples have a little bit more breathing room? Personally, as somebody who has been following very closely what the Fed is doing and what they're saying and what they're projecting and how that has changed over time, it seems to me that markets are grasping at straws, trying to figure out what the Fed is going to do, whereas the Fed themselves are also grasping at straws, trying to figure out where the economy is going and when their policy trajectory needs to change. And then when they actually get one of the straws, it's that nasty paper kind that gets all crumpled up and you have to drink paper, cardboard paper along with your smoothie. Ooh, tastes good, doesn't it? Tastes real good. Anyways, folks, that is my breakdown on where we are currently. Give me a comment down below and let me know what you think. What's the Fed going to do next? Is the Fed right? Is inflation actually behind us? Or is inflation going to start going up again maybe in the fall? Maybe it's not going to cool down at all. Let me know what you think down below. Also, if you want to get up to 10 free stocks with Moomoo, make sure to sign up with our link down below because that deal is expiring at the end of the month, so make sure to take advantage of it while you can. Anyways, folks, that's it for today. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.